Welcome back, Idiot Squared viewers. This week we have an interesting episode. We're going to be discussing a post by Latif Nasser about moons and quasi-moons and things that happen in our solar system and in the universe that we thought we knew, but maybe we don't know. What is a moon? Like, how do we categorize one? What things have moons? What's a quasi-moon? What's not a moon? And a whole bunch of other strange stuff. Anyway, this episode was sparked by a tweet by Latif Nasser about a poster that he had on his child's wall. And it's fascinating. It's going a little bit viral at the moment. Currently got like 14 million impressions or views. But yeah, fascinating. So, Polska, you ready to jump in?
Yo, 100%, guy. Yo, 14.2 million views now, buddy.
Yeah.
Wow. So I didn't read this, by the way, but I see that there was a picture of a man on the moon. And you know how like people say, oh, the man on the moon? Do you know what that comes from, by the way? Is that because it looks like there might be a face on the moon?
Possibly, yeah. I don't know.
Have you heard that expression, though?
I have heard that expression.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a spaceship jammed into the moon face.
Yeah, it does, right? Or like right in the eye. Right in the right eye.
Good shot.
Maybe
Very
like a
good
telescope.
Shot. All right. So do you want me to read this? I'll read through a bit of this and then we can sort of go on a bit of an exploration. So this is Latif Nasser, and he tweeted or X'd, last January, I noticed something peculiar in my 2-year-old's bedroom that after a year of obsessive reporting led me to a profound cosmic revelation about what's even possible in our universe. Let's read. He says, so about a year ago, I was putting my little guy to bed in his crib and I noticed a strange detail on the solar system poster up on his wall. And there's a picture of a solar system. And he goes down to say, Venus had a moon called Zuzvi. Huh? I thought, never heard of that. So the picture showing Venus with a moon, Zuzvi. Not sure how to pronounce that. Hopefully we'll get better at it. Okay, so he says, put the kid to bed, went back to my room and Googled, does Venus have a moon? First hit was from NASA. Venus has no moons. Weird. He then writes, then I Googled Zuzvi and got no results. Literally 0 results in English. Only results were in Czech and they were about zoos, not what I was looking for. I called a friend, Liz Landau, who has worked with NASA for a decade, and she confirmed Venus is completely moonless, and she had definitely never heard of Zuzvi. Picture of Liz looking confused or shrugging.
This is entertaining so far, by the way. I'm into this. I'm into this already.
Okay, well, let's proceed. This started to bug me, he writes. Why make up a moon on a kid's poster? And why call it Zuzvi? Best guess, it was a prank and Zuzvi was the illustrator's dog's name. Interesting. Okay, he then goes on to write, so I called the illustrator, a Brit named Alex Foster. He does have a dog, but it's named Winnie. He didn't know much about astronomy, but he swore he didn't make it up. He said he found it on a big list of all the moons online. I believed him, but couldn't find the list. He goes on to say, around that time, I got a text from Liz at NASA. Wait, Latif, I think I figured it out. Picture of Liz looking quite, surprised, proud of herself. It wasn't Zuzvi, it was 2002-VE, which is an actual object near Venus. The illustrator, Alex, confirmed that he probably misread his own writing. Aha, 2002 VE. Okay, so what is 2002 VE? 2002 VE68, its technical designation, is a giant rock. Imagine a grey, pock-marked potato the size of the Eiffel Tower. We don't have pics of it, but this is one similar. It shows a picture of a large rock. But the weirder and harder question is Zuzvi. I'm going to just call it Zuzvi, a moon of Venus or not. Is it a moon of Venus or not? ? So I tracked down the person who discovered it, Brian Skiff, at Lowell Observatory in Arizona. He has actually discovered so many asteroids that when I talked to him, he had no idea what I was talking about. He genuinely didn't remember this one. He goes on to say, he said that he found it as part of the Lonios project, an industrial-scale asteroid scavenger hunt that Congress funded during the 1990s and 2000s, when everyone was obsessed with what would happen if one hit Earth. Sometimes they discovered hundreds of asteroids in a single night. Pretty cool. Some pictures of Armageddon. He goes on to say, once Skiff realized Zuzvi wasn't a threat, he stopped tracking it. But I found two astronomers who kept looking, Seppo Mikkola in Finland and Paul Wiegard in Canada. Shout out Canada. They told me that Zuzvi is not a moon of Venus, but it is also not a moon of Venus. It's both neither. It's both and neither. What the hell? He writes. We got a little bit of a description there of asteroid 2002 VE. What is it? Scroll up a little tad. VE68, a quasi-satellite of Venus. The asteroid 2002 VE68 is currently a quasi-satellite of Venus, the first object of this dynamical class to be observed, and is also the first known co-orbital companion to Venus. Our computations show that it has been in its present orbital state for about 7 millennia and will stay there for 5 more centuries to come. It has a high eccentricity, approximating 0.4, and inclination, 9 degrees. Consequently, the maximum distance of the asteroid from the Sun is near that of Earth, and the minimum distance is smaller than the aphelion of Mercury. Very close approaches with Venus and Mercury are excluded within the interval of time of reliable numerical computation of the orbit. But repeated encounters with the Earth do occur. From the evolution of the orbit of this object, we conclude that it may have been a near-Earth asteroid which some 7,000 years ago was injected into its present orbit by the action of the Earth. So, Latif Nasser goes on to tweet, turns out basically everything in our solar system orbits one thing. Earth orbits the Sun, the Moon orbits the Earth, etc. If you are a body in the solar system, you hula hoop one bigger thing. That's what you do, except for Zuzvi. Zuzvi orbits one thing, the Sun. Yeah, one thing, the Sun. It spends all day, every day doing that. But Venus also has a teeny gravitational toehold on it, and sorry, it's mad distracting. That GIF is hilarious.
I know. I keep looking at it too, guy. That's hilarious. I was like, I'm trying to listen to what you're saying, and I keep watching him take off his glasses. That's a GIF from the dinosaur movie, right? What's it called?
Jurassic Park.
That's it. The original, isn't it? Is that the original Jurassic Park?
All right, I'm gonna read you this. Yeah. Okay, so Zuzvi orbits one thing, the Sun. It spends all day, every day doing that. But Venus also has a teeny gravitational toehold on it, such that it also orbits Venus at the same time. It's a whole new category of thing, something that orbits a star and a planet at once. Something that is not a moon, but also not a moon. They call it a quasi-moon. Astronomers have been speculating that such an object could exist for 100+ years, but this is the first time anyone saw one, not only in our solar system, but in the entire universe. This is fascinating.
Damn.
Right, cool.
The OxyClean guy. Oh, shit. Oh,
he's good with the gifts. Okay, so
dude, he's a good storyteller. Like, I'm into this.
I agree. Fantastic thread. But since they found Zuzvi, they've been finding all sorts of other quasi-moons, aka co-orbital objects, all over the solar system. They ring around the Sun, but then seem to do weird patterns around their closest planet.
Yo, if I click on the GIF, it stops.
Oh, nice. Thanks, guy.
Oh, fuck. I could have stopped this one too? Yeah, if I click on it, it stops. Holy shit.
Great place to stop it. That crazy eye.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Guy, I just don't know how to use Twitter because I'm never on it. Like the only time I actually go on Twitter is when you send me shit for the pod.
That's not a bad thing,
All
I
right.
don't think. Okay, so let's continue with the thread. Latif Nasser writes, some called Trojans stay in one spot ahead or behind of the planet, like a Secret Service agent. Some do horseshoes, go mostly around the planet, but they turn around and go back the other way. My favorites do a comma shape, just wiggling back and forth. They are called tadpoles. He's got a bunch of little dots there. He's got the horseshoe one. He's got the comma one. The tadpole, sorry.
Wow.
That's very cool. They're super fast, right?
That is really
look at the
cool.
distance they're traveling.
Yeah, holy
okay,
shit.
So scrolling down, we can continue. And by the way, Earth even has at least 7 different quasi-moons dancing around us right now. The most recent one was discovered in 2023. What? That's so cool. So we've got a lot of stuff flying around us. Also, quasi-moons can switch planets. We, Earth, were probably the ones who, 7,000 years ago, flung Zuzvi over to Venus in the first place. Zuzvi is going to leave Venus a few millennia from now, but no one knows where it will go next. He's linked to an abstract from a paper on the dynamical evolution of 2002 VE68, also known as Zuzvi. Okay. He continues with, anyway, I think this is so cool because everything else on the solar system map is so regular and orderly, but not quasi-moons. It's like we discovered a bunch of new weirdos who seem to be dancing to the beat of their own drum.
Elaine.
Yeah. She definitely danced to the beat of her own drum. Yeah, he nails the gifts on this. Okay, so contrary to the posters, we don't live in a big clockwork. We live in a dance club. And while some of us are doing the same old waltz with our same old moon, there are bodies out there doing their way all over the solar system. Doing. Okay. How inspiring
or do-si-doing. Yeah, do-si-doing, I think. Do-si-do. Yeah.
They were do-si-doing around the universe. How inspiring is it that we are alive at a time when we are just discovering this new class of paradoxical and promiscuous rock stars like Zuzvi that remind us of how weird and temporary and connected everything in the universe is, and how much we still don't know. One last thing, if you want to hear more about this strange object, check out the latest episode of Radiolab. Tons more there, and I haven't mentioned here, including his detailed plan to officially rename 2002 VE68 to Zuzvi to immortalize the typo and thus retroactively make the poster in my kids' room correct. This plan falls into the category of so crazy it just might work, and we will know the answer very soon. End of thread. So, like, what? Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. That it is fascinating, especially the way he broke down the story. It was very, very entertaining. I was like hooked the entire time. So now that we found one, we have found many, and there's many, billions of circumstances like Zuzvi out there, and even Earth has some quasi-moons too, right? How many? 27?
Just 7, I think.
7? Okay. Yeah, so
that
basically
we know of.
That we know of. Yeah. So basically they interchange their gravitational pull. No, not pull, but they're between, what was the language? But it
co-orbital.
Changes between, that's it, co-orbital between the sun and whichever planet that they're orbiting, basically.
Yeah,
so sort of like switches back and forth.
The planet has enough of a gravitational pull, it can sort of pull it in for a period, but then the sun seems to ultimately dominate as well.
So it's like in this sweet spot.
Yeah.
Basically, these large rocks are just like in this perfect sweet spot where they can co-orbit something, which is cool. Do-si-do, where they can do-si-do.
Yeah, and essentially, like I like his analogy of the dancing because that's kind of like what they're doing. Like they can dance around the universe. Which is cool. And like you said, like it's not like we work in this clockwork universe where everything has to maintain this rigid order, so to speak. We can have this sort of mildly chaotic or at least unpredictable sort of trajectories.
It's crazy to think about, eh? Like, think about all the planets that we have in our solar system. There's 8, right? Yeah, because Pluto, they kicked Pluto out of the club, I think. So now there's 8 planets. And the other planets basically act as sort of a shield or a protection against incoming comets or asteroids. Because if a comet or asteroid comes into our galaxy and it gets near one of these planets, it will offset its direction, or it will begin to absorb its I don't know, or maybe it'll begin to orbit that planet or something. I'm not sure if that part's correct, but I do know that the planets act as sort of like a shield or protection for Earth because they can offset the direction of asteroids, comets coming in, which is pretty dope.
It's bad though. So they do act like shields. There's so many things that protect us from stray objects. Also, it helps not being like the biggest gravitational thing in our region. Like it's good to have the sign, good to have different like belts of asteroids, different planets, different moons as well. The interesting thing that you were just mentioning, so you mentioned that Pluto's being kicked out. Do you know much about the story of Pluto and why it was kicked out?
I did. So it has something to do with its orbit. The orbit is inconsistent, and or the size. It doesn't surpass this the threshold of size, I believe, for it to be considered a planet, or it's the way that it travels around the sun that is abnormal. I can't remember. Do you know more about it?
I know a little bit. So again, likely going to be wrong on a bunch of this, but from my memory, which is fallible, it goes a little something like this. They discovered Pluto, and it was like this pretty large sort of thing out there, and they're like, oh, this is a planet. What makes a planet is a whole nother discussion. It's a very murky set of definitions, right? When you start to like dig into it. But essentially that's, Pluto was discovered out there and they're like, oh, there's this planet lurking. Okay. But since then, they've done more exploration and looked out there more. And they've realized that like Pluto is just one of many, many objects out there. And it's not even the biggest, right? Like there are way bigger things out there that could be called planets based on that loose definition of what of the way they define Pluto, right? They kicked Pluto out because it's like it's not a planet. It's just like a giant chunk of ice, and it's not even the biggest thing out there. There's way bigger objects out there that aren't getting called planets. But it's just fascinating that like the more we look and the better our technology gets, the more we discover, and the more we have to update what we thought we knew. And so it's an interesting thing when you think about truth in that regard, because things can essentially a good percentage of things are only true for a certain period of time.
I did a quick Google search on why isn't Pluto a planet, and the first thing came up was Washington Post. So according to Washington Post, Pluto is technically a dwarf planet because it has not cleared its neighboring region of other objects. This means that Pluto still has lots of asteroids and other space rocks along its flight path, rather than having absorbed them over time like the larger planets have done.
Yeah. And it's not even the biggest object in its what are we saying? Like a rotation orbit
Path?
In its orbit. Yeah, in its orbit.
Right.
Or in its region. So somebody did a good video on it recently. I might be able to link to like the YouTube link or something in the description. But there's way bigger objects out there that are probably going to absorb Pluto, right? So even calling it a dwarf planet is probably not even that accurate. When was that post written?
August 23, 2021.
Maybe. Yeah, interesting.
But it's a Washington Post, so,
Yeah, they're fallible too. Big time fallible. Okay, so Quasi-Moons, not a moon. How cool is that? Like I love that. I love the double negatives. Like the
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
not.
It's not a moon either. Yeah.
But isn't it fascinating? So, like, how cool is the way that it got not discovered, but how he came to find out about it? Like, some illustrator had put together this map. He'd read a thing about this object being out there. He misread his own handwriting, accidentally called it Zuzvi, which sparked this guy's curiosity. He then goes on this manhunt, works with a chick from NASA, and finds all these people that were involved in it, uncovers the story of this thing. Like, it's just beautiful. I love how the world and the universe can work sometimes.
I agree, dude. I love it too. I think that's why we were so into the story, because I would do that too. Like if I had a child and I saw that on this poster they had in the room that there was this planet, I'd be like, or this moon around Venus. I'm like, well, that's interesting. Like that would be something that I would probably do. Look it up just to see what the fuck's going on, because I'm a really curious person, and I know you are too. So I think that we see ourselves in, what's his name?
Latif.
I closed the post. Nasser.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Latif Nasser is he's way more structured than I would have. Like he reached out to all these people. He did like all this extra stuff. Like he went the extra mile, and I think that's really what brings it all together. He did a great amount of work on this. One interesting thing I want to pick on in there, like or pull out from that is, it was the illustrator misread his own writing, which led it to be called Zuzvi, right? How often in history do you think this has happened, where like an error, you know what I mean? And like error correction is a very interesting thing, but errors happening in things is also very interesting because it can drive some innovation. It can drive development. It can cause all sorts of different stuff. Like there's people talk about genetic mutations and how that drives change in species and all those different things. But like, how funny that he wrote this thing down at a time, misread his own writing, calls it this other name, which sparks this guy's interest. Like if he'd written 2002 VE 68, then this guy wouldn't have had the journey that he had. So it's that error that led to all of this coolness, which led this to go viral, which has opened up many people's ideas and understandings and perceptions of this interesting thing. It gets greater reach now because it's more interesting. Isn't that that just blows my mind?
Okay, so then why did the universe want us to have this information then?
Well, what do you think? It's deepening our understanding, right?
Yeah, but there must be, you're making it sound like there must be a reason for this, right? And it does sound like that. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, why did the universe want to teach us that these quasi-moons exist, that these big objects can co-orbit something? Does that have something to do with expanding our understanding of physics and of space in some way that will lead us to something else? Possibly,
yeah, so I don't know. I don't agree with why does the universe want us to know this? I don't think the universe wants us to know anything. I think the reason we ended up he came across this and this is now becoming more mainstream or more broadly known is because it is illuminating a truth at a certain level about the universe, that these things do exist and that they do happen. So it's kind of like not necessarily the universe wants us to know this. It's inevitable that we will sort of come to this if we're trying to figure things out. And so this is just like cool timing, I suppose. And because of Twitter and the reach and all the rest of it, we can become aware of this kind of stuff quite quickly. So when I looked at that tweet, it only had like 15,000 views or something like that. And within like a day or two, like, I don't know, some ridiculous amount of time, it's already over 14 million.
Insane.
And I just love that reach because it's cool shit, and cool shit. Like I like it when cool shit goes viral as opposed to like, some dance or something like that. But essentially 14.2 million people are now, more aware of quasi-moons, and it sort of, it expands the explanation well, it expands our knowledge base as humans, which allows us to make better explanations moving forward. It's progress. It's a beautiful thing.
Accidental findings make for the best discoveries. And then once you have an accidental finding, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I know what to look for. And then you go look for it, and it's fucking everywhere. And you're like, yo, how the hell did we miss this? It's something that is so apparent or so obvious, but you didn't know what you were looking for because you can't see what you can't see. So
we
it's
can't
just
see what you're not
fascinating
predicting to see.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just cool as fuck how something so random then evolves into an accidental finding. And like I said, bro, like accidental findings are the shit. Okay, this is like a really low level example, but when I edit videos for my other channel, just in the process of editing, I'll do like accidental shit, and then I'll play it back, and I'll like, yo, that looks fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like I'll make like a big mistake, and I'm like, yo, holy shit, this is fucking cool. And then it becomes part of my like regular editing routine. And that's happened to me quite frequently. And it ends up being like the sickest shit. Like the most, it's not even me being creative. It's me like fucking up, but then realizing, oh shit, there's something cool as fuck here. So it could even happen at like a low level. I'm sure it's happened maybe even to you programming, right?
No, all the time.
With the
Perfection is not the answer. Perfection is not the answer. You need the space to make mistakes. Failure is how you learn. If you aren't willing to fail, you can't learn. It's a beautiful thing. And this is why, like, over constraining things or putting too many rules in place kills creativity, kills productivity, it kills progress, right? And creativity, because it's over constrained. We need the space to make mistakes. And like you said, like these accidental discoveries, they come from mistakes. So like he misread his own writing and wrote the wrong thing, which like sparked this guy's curiosity and led him on this mad journey. It's really cool. But yeah, like that's an argument against like the everyone needs to be safe all the time. We need to make sure that this could never happen and that can never happen. It's like you're just killing progress, and essentially increasing the long tail risk down the track.
So sorry, I did mention Good Meals, and I feel like we have to plug just briefly.
Welcome to Good Meals. I'm Reuben. I'm the founder and developer of Good Meals, and I'm here to introduce you to a smarter way to approach your diet. Forget the one-size-fits-all meal plans. Good Meals is about precision, personalization, and simplicity. It's not just a meal planner, it's a tool that adapts to you. Start by telling us about yourself. Your goals are unique, so should be your meal plan. Good Meals utilizes advanced AI to tailor every meal to your specific nutritional needs. Here's where it gets interesting. Our extensive database isn't just a collection of recipes, it's a culinary exploration. Whether you have specific dietary preferences or just what's available in your fridge, Good Meals finds the perfect recipe for you. And it's not just about variety. We focus on the nutritional value, ensuring that every bite takes you closer to your health goals. Join Good Meals today at goodmeals.health. It's not just about eating better, it's about revolutionizing the way you think about food. Because at Good Meals, every meal is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
So I'll just say, check it out, goodmeals.health. I'll put the link in the description. It is a cool as fuck AI integrated diet generator. It's much more complex than that, but that's just like the short spiel of it. Go check it out, goodmeals.health. Links in the description. Dope as fuck. All right, and let's continue.
Big time. Okay, just quickly, I'll complete the plug. It allows anybody, anywhere, to figure out how many calories and what macros they should be consuming or can start consuming to achieve their goal, whether it's weight loss, fat loss, maintenance, or bulking, gaining weight, building muscle. And you can do that for free. And then we have a meal plan builder with thousands and thousands and thousands of recipes, as well as an AI recipe generator, and not like your typical AI recipe generator that has no idea about the macros or quantities or whatever. this actually provides recipes with macro calculated quantities, and it's accurate. There's a lot of stuff that goes into doing that, but it works and it's fantastic. It's something I use every day. And you can build a meal plan in under 5 minutes. That's delicious and you can adhere to. So yeah, really good tool. Fantastic. Check it out. Thanks for the plug, Guy. And back to our regularly scheduled episode of Quasi-Moons. We just become those people. How cool is that? Not.
Yo, you got it though, dude. It's a tough world out there, bro. So we all gotta be warriors. We gotta be fighters. We gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. But legit, like, I made it because I really wanted it. I'm mad pumped about it because it's something I use all the time, like literally every day, multiple times a day. It's wicked. And I would like more other people to experience the benefits you can get from it. Because it saves a ridiculous amount of time and headache. It handles all the calculations. Like, I was so sick of doing them and it just makes it that much better. But yeah, I'll stop talking about it now.
No, it's all right, guy. Passionate guy. That's good. That's what we need. So yeah, I just brought it up because, in designing it, I'm sure you had a lot of fuck ups because programming is cool as it is. It's very mundane at times and very annoying, where you can spend 12 goddamn hours trying to figure it out, and then it's just like, oh, it's not working because of this fucking space I have over here, which I didn't even realize until I went down line by line and realized there's a fucking space over here and shit. So did anything happen during the process of designing Good Meals where you were like, oh, that was a mistake? And then, oh shit, but like it does something cool as fuck. I'm going to use that now.
Yeah. So the big breakthrough for me was a way to understand what a recipe actually is at like at a different level. And I was thinking about it for a completely different thing. And in doing that, I was thinking about levels of abstractions. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to try this. Like, it won't work at all. And then it did work. And that sort of breakthrough was what allowed me to start making really big progress. And then the other key thing was actually a matching algorithm for something that we were both working on for a completely different thing in a completely different field. And by solving that matching algorithm, coming up with a way to do that for a completely different project, I was able to implement it on Good Meals, which led to the ability for this AI recipe generator. So yeah, it's random stuff, but not so much a random mistake, but random ideas in other spaces and then them being able to translate across. That was probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
So did you get into that whole comet asteroid thing back around when the Armageddon came out? That's the movie, right? Armageddon with Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Not so much.
No, I always thought like that would be, if we were going to have like a end of the world disaster, that to me just seems like one of the more likely type of situations. I remember watching a thing about the possibility of an asteroid or a comet hitting. By the way, what's the difference between an asteroid and a comet? Do you know?
That's a good question. I think an
I'm gonna look that up.
Wait, does an asteroid become a comet when a... Yeah, that's a great question. I have no idea. No, I'm not really big into the astrology stuff.
I like it, but I don't know much about it. Okay,
I'm just mad big into the like horoscopes and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like an asteroid and there's also a meteor as well.
Yeah, let's go. A meteor as it come in there. It becomes a meteor when? No, wait. Okay, I'm not going to butcher this. Hit me with the facts, big dog. Let's go.
Asteroids are made up of metals and rocky material, while comets are made up of ice, dust, and rocky material. Both asteroids and comets were formed early in the history of our solar system. about 4.5 billion years ago. Asteroids formed much closer to the sun, where it was too warm for ice to remain solid. Okay, so one contains ice and the other one doesn't, basically.
So we were hit by a comet early on. Earth was. Is that there's a theory about that? Is that right? And that's how we got a good amount of water on Earth from the ice from a comet.
That is, I did hear that theory.
That's a theory. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to double check. I had a memory of that for some reason.
A way. Yeah, that was a way that we got water over here. Possibly.
So what's a meteor?
Okay, let me go check. What's a meteor? Asteroid, a comet, and a meteor. Okay, so a meteor is a space rock or a meteorite. Yeah, meteorite, right? That enters Earth's atmosphere. As it burns up upon entering Earth's atmosphere, it creating a streak of light in the sky, often called shooting stars. Okay, so what was it? Asteroid has ice. Comets? Yep. No, wait.
No. Comet has ice. Asteroid is dirt and metal. Comet has ice and dust and rock. And a meteorite is when those things get into our atmosphere. Okay, so let's just go through and do what makes a moon a moon? Is you look it up, but I'm just going to hypothesize or conjecture.
Okay.
Is what makes a moon is that it is an object that has mass that orbits a planet. That has a relatively fixed orbit around a planet.
Right. Like a forever orbit.
Well, nothing's forever, but yes, over a long enough time horizon.
Naturally formed bodies that orbit planets are called moons or planetary satellites. The best known planetary satellite is, of course, Earth's moon, since it was named before we learned about other planetary satellites. It is simply the moon. Oh, it is called simply the moon. This is from NASA. All the way, not from some bullshit media company. So
I just wanted to correct it. Thank you for that. We'll go back into that. But I just want to correct something I just said, which was nothing is forever. But actually, I do think that no thing could be forever. Like nothingness could be forever. But anyway, that was a strange, deep tangent. All right, moons, back at it. Okay, so moons are actually satellites. Cool. Confusing. There's so many different names for so many different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got moons, and they're just you said a natural body that's formed that orbits a planet.
That's right. Naturally formed bodies that orbit planets.
Okay.
That's like the short.
And
explanation.
in our region of space, what planet has the most moons? Is it like Jupiter, the big dog?
I mean, that's what I would assume, right? Because it's so fucking huge. I'm going to look that up too. By the way, did you know that eventually Saturn's rings will disappear completely?
I didn't specifically know that, but as I just said before, nothing exists forever. I would have assumed that might have happened for sure, but that's cool.
I hope Neil deGrasse Tyson, even though he's a douche, I hope he watches this pod and just trashes us. Imagine that he watched this and hears two fucking idiots talk about space.
Yeah, I don't think he's watching anyone but himself for sure.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Oh, damn. Okay. It's not Jupiter. What would be your second guess?
Uranus.
No. Oh, I think that's how you say it though. Uranus, right? People say Uranus, but it's Uranus.
I was trying to pronounce it politically correctly. Yeah. No, it's probably Saturn.
Yeah, it is Saturn. Saturn has reigned its crown as the planet with the most moons in the solar system. Just months after being overtaken by its fellow gas giant Jupiter, the leapfrog comes after the discovery of 62 new moons of Saturn, bringing its official total to 145 moons. Damn.
That's cool.
That's a lot of moons.
That's a lot of moons.
That's cool. Yeah. Jupiter. Number 2.
Is there a picture of that somewhere? Like, can we see some of that? Like, are they in the rings, or are they like, do they have different orbits than the rings?
Good question. Here, I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm gonna have to click on the images though, or maybe this article. I have something from The Guardian. I'll just click on images.
I have to put the title of this episode as like "Idiots Do Space."
Yeah, idiots do space. Look at it, guy. It looks like they are part of the rings, right? Diagram showing the 20 newly discovered moons Saturn.
So there's two different kinds, or 3 different kinds of orbits going on there, hey?
Yeah, and they're quite far from where the rings are. The rings must be something else. But if you see, you see how in the center, there's the rings around Saturn, and quite far away, you can see the moons, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And also, the moon, in relation to Earth, is really far away, actually. Like, it's not as close as people might think. Like, the moon is quite far from Earth. It took Neil Armstrong and what were the other two guys? His name?
Buzz Aldrin.
Buzz Aldrin. Yeah. What's the third guy? Neil Armstrong. Idea. Buzz Aldrin. Fuck. Well, the other guy didn't leave the ship, right? It was only Neil and Buzz that actually stepped on the moon. Imagine being the third guy. Like, yo, fuck you guys. I don't want to go. But they probably made that decision before leaving, right?
If they even stepped on the moon.
Yeah.
Did they even go there?
Well, guy, we know India did. India for sure did.
Yeah. Okay, we're not going to diverge down there. Okay, so,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the third guy's name? Quickly find it. Let's go. I want to know this. Buzz Aldrin.
It took them 72 hours to reach the moon, I believe, right?
Why haven't we been back there?
Dude, because some shit went down on the moon, and we were told that we shouldn't be going back there, guy. There's something going on over there, and that's all the information we got.
Are you referencing something that's happening on the dark side of the moon?
That's right. There's something happening on the dark side of the moon, bro. And whatever's happening over there intervened, and Buzz was pretty fucked up about it. Buzz and Neil. No, I don't know. I don't know why. It's a good question. Like, why the fuck haven't we been there? 3 people that have been to the moon. All right, I'll click on all here. Well, no, it wasn't. No. What is this? What's going on? I think I fucked up with my search. So who was...
Land on the moon.
Well, so
if you
the third guy didn't land on the moon though. The third guy stayed in the main ship.
Okay, well, click on the Britannica. I feel like that link at the bottom of those pictures is going to have a bit of details there. Okay.
Yeah, because it was only because like Buzz and Neil, they took like this other spacecraft to the moon, while the third guy stayed on the main ship. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Alan Shepard.
Shepard.
Yeah, okay. Alan Shepard gets no love. Like anytime people talk about what went down, it's always, or just that I don't know about. But that sucks to.
He was the first U.S. astronaut to travel to space.
Oh, there you go. It's weird how this isn't a household name, right? Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, those are household names, but Alan Shepard isn't.
Yeah,
strange, right?
Alan obviously didn't have a PR team.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good call. No, he should have though. Like he's. Oh, all right. I thought he was kind of handsome. He's kind of handsome. He's kind of handsome. They just fucked up. Well, that's what it was like back in the day, man.
I don't know, guy. I don't know if they're basing it off the handsomeness. I feel like,
back in 1969?
Yeah, but like what I'm trying to get at is like I feel like some people just don't want to be in the spotlight, right? Like so some people just won't do the
Oh,
publicity,
yeah,
etc.
true.
Like I can relate to that. I don't necessarily want to be in the spotlight so much. Like even though we do film this podcast every week, it's not really like something I'm like, you know, not trying to be famous if that makes sense, right? Like I'm happy to
No,
put
I
certain
I
stuff
gotcha.
out there, but like I feel like so a lot of these people that are sort of not well known, maybe that was like kind of like their goal. They just want to be a bit under the radar. And I think for other people, they do like to blow up. And there's a lot of people who blow up that are like they're not that special. They're not the thought leaders in the space, but they can sell themselves as being like an expert or whatever. Yeah, perfect example is that Neil guy you mentioned before. Um, like he's a well-known science communicator, but he's like not like he's not making breakthroughs in the field. Like he's spending his time getting publicly noticed as opposed to like doing actual research, so to speak, or making breakthroughs.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. And what my comment about he has hands and why wasn't he, more known about is I feel like back in the day, it wasn't necessarily a requirement, but I feel like looks played a huge role in promoting things back in the day, more so than it does now. You can have like some nerdy guy that just it doesn't, sorry, not nerdy, but nerdy looking guy, and it doesn't matter about how they look. But I feel like back in the day, because there was less publicity and less you know things in the media and on in the news, that they would be more careful selecting people based on image or how they would promote things. So I feel like it was probably somewhat of a requirement, um, sort of. Fuck, I feel like I'm digging myself in the hole. The more I'm
Yeah,
saying this, I feel like
I
a
feel like
fucking
you dug
idiot.
yourself a hole. I
Yeah,
honestly I think it's like a lot of it is luck, timing, and also distribution. So like if you have people that want to help to distribute content about you or put you on radio or put you on newsletters or in the paper or whatever back in the day, then you would get more notoriety. It was distribution. It was a little bit more gate kept back then. It was harder to have that distribution. Whereas now, like everyone can sort of get a phone and start doing stuff.
you
But
hear
I know
about
I don't
that
know.
band? Sorry,
No,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
They-
I was just going to say, I don't know if your beauty thing will hold up to much scrutiny, but I'm sure it did play a role in certain circumstances, but I don't think it was the only or the defining factor.
No, yeah, yeah. No, no, I dug myself into podcast hole, guy. You just start talking
Nice.
about something, and then you try to finish your point, and then as you're getting into it, you realize, yo, no, it's not making any fucking sense. But what came to mind was there was this band, I think it was called Milli Vanilli. Maybe I'm saying their name wrong. Milli
I remember
Vanilli, and
hearing that.
basically, so Milli Vanilli, it was this rock band, I believe it was rock band, and supposedly the front people, the ones that did the performances, the ones that were in the spotlight, weren't the actual band members. They were just some, I don't know, like industry. What's it called? Not a plug, a plant, or maybe not
Front
a plant.
people.
Maybe that's wrong. Yeah, they were just because they were better looking than the actual artists. So then they just became Milli Vanilli. Yeah. But the real band members never actually got into the spotlight. And then the whole charade got blown open eventually, that Milli Vanilli was just like fake and well, it wasn't fake, but
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't
No, I
showing who
get
the
you.
real band members were. Yeah.
That's cool. But also, like, that's kind of like, that's pretty gangster. Like, you could make the music you love to make, right? And then you can be anonymous in a sense, right? Like, the front people take all the heat, so to speak. And some people want to be famous in that regard. Other people are very creative and probably want to be less well known. So, I think
Fuck.
that's interesting.
I hope I got the right. I know that there was a band. I hope that was it. So here, I'm gonna share my screen because
Here
like
we go.
I'm
I want to
terrible
buy
for
you a
mixing
shovel,
names
guy.
up. No, I don't need a shovel. That's the problem. You need to take my shovel away.
Oh, okay.
That's
Sorry.
what we
I'm
need
going
to
to
do.
take your
Yeah.
shovel away. Get you a concrete floor here.
Fuck yeah, guy. All right. So this is a film about Milli Vanilli, by the way. All right. So it was like a French-German group. Okay. So record producer Frank Farland offers them a recording contract. According to Morvan, only after signing and not reading the contracts does the duo learn they are not going to lip sync to pre-recorded tracks by other singers. What? Did I read that right? The contracts does the duo learn they are going to lip sync to pre-recorded tracks by other singers. Yeah, so it was this band, yeah. So I guess they got hired, these two, but that's probably just the movie.
Probably actors.
Yeah, those are just the actors. Let me go to. Why does it? Oh, maybe I typed in movie. That's why. All right, so here are the original. All right, let's go to images. I want to see what like side by side the originals with the front.
Yeah, that the Drake Milli Vanilli lost their Grammy with Drake is hilarious.
Oh, here it is. Look, Imposters. Look at the real voice. This dude. Imposters.
Oh, wow.
Real dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy that they imagine being these two fucking guys being hired for this. I mean,
yeah, but like
I feel like a lot of people would do this.
Yeah, we'll make you famous. We got no talent.
Yeah, we'll make you
Fake
famous
it till you make it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's mad interesting.
Milli Vanilli.
Great hair.
Oh, dude. I mean, they're both good looking guys, man. In shape, long, beautiful hair. But
look at the eyes on the left there. Look at that middle pick on the left with the hat and the earring, dude. Sultry.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's look. Real members. I want to see what the real members look like.
Real singers.
Real singers. I mean, like, if this is the real guy, I mean, that's good enough.
Second row, singing. Fifth column, fifth image.
Yeah.
At them.
Oh, there they are. Here they are right here. Yeah, because this guy here looks like him. So this is them here. I mean, these guys are good enough. Come on. I was expecting like, you know, these guys are good looking enough to be the front guys. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, but it's like the guy had an idea in his head. He wanted them to be super good looking and have the voices. So about I feel like that's just one case of this. Like, it's definitely a way to do it. Is it the only way? I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Mad divergent.
Yeah, how the fuck did we get from discussing moons and co-orbital objects to Milli Vanilli?
Because you decided to give me a shovel, which you've now taken away.
I gotta take it back.
We're good.
Okay, last one before I take the shovel away. How do you explain Stephen Hawking's notoriety or famousness?
Oh, God.
He had that Epstein publicity, dude. He had Epstein back at him from day one, son.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of now, dude, is the Epstein shit. That's like, that sucks, dude.
All right, I'm taking the shovel back. Okay.
All right.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought. Do it.
So how did... Oh, fuck. What was his name? What did you say? Stephen Hawking.
Epstein.
Stephen Hawking. He's a physicist, right?
Mathematician, physicist, yeah.
Okay, that's how he got his notoriety. Notoriety. And then I'm pretty sure he was big before he got invited to Epstein Island. That's why he got invited, right? But then maybe Epstein just took him to the next level. He got to that party, you know.
I was hypothesizing that maybe like they picked up on his brilliance and then they're like, yeah, we need to do a publicity campaign for this guy. We need to get him famous. We need to get him out there in the public. because he can help push the narrative for us. We've got dirt on him. We know that he likes watching midgets do math on chalkboards that are too high for him. So we got this guy. But yeah, okay. Tangent's over. Let's go back to co-orbital objects.
Sorry, but just one last thing about Stephen Hawking. Was this his condition? Was this something he was born with, or did this occur progressively as he aged, or something happened to him? Do you know what the background story behind
Good question. I'm not a big Stephen Hawking.
Sorry, guy. All right. Well, we're gonna have to.
No. Let's go. You want to Google it?
How does
what's Stephen Hawking's condition? Did he have multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy?
Yeah, right. It almost looks like. Okay, scientists do not know how Stephen Hawking acquired ALS.
Okay.
What's ALS stand for again?
I don't know. But remember there was that ice bath challenge?
Yeah.
That was for ALS. Isn't it? It's something to do with
lateral sclerosis. It's amyotrophic lateral
share
sclerosis.
Your screen so we can all have a go at butchering it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Isn't it something to do with the myelination or something of your nerve fibers, or like?
I don't remember. I don't know.
All right, let's have a look here.
Yeah. So, but okay. Lou Gehrig's disease, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah. Okay. So go for it, guy. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis.
Nervous system disease, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, destroys nerve cells. Yeah. Okay. In this disease, nerve cells break down, which reduces functionality in the muscles that they supply. The cause is unknown. The main symptom is muscle weakness. Medication and therapy can slow ALS and reduce discomfort, but there's no cure. Okie dokes. Yeah,
and so scientists do not know how he got it. And he developed the disease when he was just 21 years old.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So maybe, just maybe, they planted it on him. No, let's not go down there.
Epstein did on Epstein Island?
Maybe there was a bug there. I don't know.
He was the only one that wasn't like getting into some fucked up shit. So Epstein was like, "Damn, dude, we gotta take this guy out." They tried poisoning him and gave him Lou Gehrig's disease by accident. Like, fuck, we can't have anyone leaving this island without fucking any midgets. Like, if someone leaves here, you know what I mean? And Epstein had no choice but to give him Lou Gehrig's disease, because he was like, dude, we cannot have anyone going back home without having, some sort of video evidence of them doing some greasy, fucked up shit. Otherwise, he's going to expose all of us and we're all fucked. So, boom. Lou Gehrig's disease.
Guy, you should write a detailed blog on that.
Yeah, for the Washington Post.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so co-orbital objects. Fascinating. This is the first time that I have heard of those objects. I'm glad that collectively human knowledge has expanded, and I love that a poster on a kid's wall with a misspelling and then a guy making a tweet thread about it led to us becoming aware of that. The universe works in mysterious ways. Very, very interesting. Do you have anything else to say on the co-orbital objects and the not a moon, Zuzvi?
Did you see the shape of it, of Zuzvi? You mean not about Zuzvi? Or about anything about that topic?
No, not about Zuzvi.
Not about it. Okay. Did you see the shape, the example which they gave? It's not a spherical object, right? So how does the moon become a spherical object? Is it from it just why are planets like almost these perfectly spherical objects?
Why are planets or why are moons?
Well, moon, like the moon is also perfectly spherical. Well, maybe it's
No,
not
it's
100%
no,
perfectly
no,
spherical,
yeah, no, it's
but
not.
like it's pretty close, pretty good. Like it's a nice round moon, or it's
Is
not.
it? It depends on
I
what.
mean, when I
Okay, like, guy,
when I
look
look
at
at
the
it, it looks like
moon.
it.
No,
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
yeah, that's because you're making a coarse graining, dude. Look at it. It's very lumpy and bumpy, and
yeah.
it's
But
definitely not perfectly spherical. You might perceive it to be at times, but that's just a coarse graining. It
like
definitely
most
has something to do
planets,
with rotation. It definitely has something to do
yeah,
with
yeah.
efficiency in packing, like with gravity. But
Right,
yeah,
right, right,
I would
right,
definitely not. I wouldn't say that it's perfectly spherical.
right. Because it would just make sense that it. Just thinking about it, like I mean, it makes sense that it would get close to it because of gravity and the rotation, like you were saying. But with Zuzvi, when they gave an example of an image, it was like a very abnormal shape, right? Like
Yeah,
it was like
but that
this,
it's remember it's not a moon.
right? It's not a moon,
It's
but
not a moon, and not
it's
a moon.
behaving right, but it still
Like a
has like
quasi
it's
moon.
co-orbiting, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
got some moon properties. So I think that's why it's a little bit more misshapen than what you would consider a moon to be. But
yeah.
just to remind us, with the Earth isn't perfectly spherical either because of the Earth's rotation. Um,
That's right.
it's a little bit like an egg.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it
Yeah, it's
bulges
cool as fuck.
at the equator.
Well, wait, the Earth is flat, bro. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
The Earth is
sorry.
flat. Remember? God
Sorry,
damn.
I Freudian slip there on my behalf. Apologize for that. The giant ice walls prevent any of that from happening.
Would that also mean that the flat earthers would think that the sun is flat and the moon is flat as well? Have they gotten that far yet? Have they thought about that? Do you know?
I would I My initial guess would be that if you think the Earth is flat, you probably don't have enough bandwidth or capacity to think of anything else.
Well, there's got to
I
be
feel
like
like
one outlier who's like a flat earther pondering right now. Wait a second. If the Earth is flat, does that mean the sun? The sun is flat. Oh my God,
everything's flat.
the sun is now flat too. Yeah, everything
Everything
is
is
flat.
flat.
Yeah.
In their universe, it's a flatland universe. That explains everything.
Oh, there you go. There
Um,
you go.
but yeah, tangents aside, do you have any other comments on these co-orbital objects? It's pretty interesting that there's a new quasi-moon object, and that since like looking into this, lots of these things have been discovered, and we find out that they're very pervasive. They're very common throughout the universe, even though matter, the way we perceive it, is quite uncommon. But in those like little bits of pockets of matter, these objects are pretty common.
I'm looking up one last thing here. I want to know how many moons exist in the universe. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It is cool as fuck. Sorry, just how many
A
moons are
lot.
there in the universe? Okay, 290. One
No
moon for
way.
Earth. One moon
Not
for
that's
Earth. Huh? Okay, two for Mars. 95 for Jupiter. 146 for Saturn. 27 at how did you say it?
Uranus.
Uranus. 14 at Neptune, and 5 for the dwarf planet Pluto.
Yeah, that's just for us. That's not the whole universe, dude. The whole universe is fucking huge.
Oh, I just meant like, yeah, our solar system here. Sorry. That's what I meant. No, I don't think we could find an answer because there isn't one. It'd be infinite. It'd be billions upon billions. It'd be just the answer is infinite, right? But
Well,
in
it's just
our
yeah.
solar system, 290.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Last little quick tangent thing that we're gonna discuss here, and then we'll wrap this up. Is have you ever seen like hypothetical views of the universe, right, or of the different galaxies? They kind of look like a brain. If you zoom out to a big enough scale, kind of looks like the neurons in a brain.
Really?
Just do a quick Google search. Picture of the
That's
universe.
interesting. That's interesting.
Neurons in our
Everything
brain.
is just connected. So what do I type in? Most zoomed out.
Self-similar fractals.
What do I? Oh yeah, it does. It just looks like. I'll share my screen. What I wrote is hilarious. It was the first thing that came to mind. Most zoomed out image of the entire universe. And you're right, it looks like neurons. Look at it. Like in the brain. Boom. Yeah,
Isn't
cool
that
as
wild?
fuck, eh?
Really cool.
Yeah.
So,
because our brain's a universe. We have a universe in our brain, dude.
Yeah. Remember Men in Black where they have the universe is on Orion's belt?
Oh, yeah.
Orion was the cat. Yeah. No, it's all pretty interesting. Apparently, our brains are the most complex objects in the universe.
There you go, okay.
What some people say. So, yeah, very fascinating. We're going to leave you with that little tidbit, the potential of our brains being the most complex object in the universe. Thank you very much for listening this week. Apologies for some of the tangents there. Hopefully they were slightly entertaining. But thanks to Latif Nasser for the tweet. We'll link it in the description below. Thank you very much for staying with us till the end. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your attention. And until next week, have a great one, and we'll see you then. Polska, peace out, guy.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, guy. Bye.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg just jumped